Ferrari. I mean, when you hear that name, what comes to mind? Speed, right? Luxury, that incredible shade of red. But what if I told you the story behind the world's most famous sports car brand isn't actually about building those amazing cars for the road? Nope. It's about one man's absolute, all-consuming obsession with something else entirely: winning races.
Okay, so let's start with this. The Prancing Horse. I mean, we've all seen it a million times. It's the ultimate symbol of performance. But its story doesn't start in some fancy design studio. It was a gift, a good luck charm with a really personal history that honestly kicked off the whole legend.
So let's wind the clock way back. Because before Ferrari was a global brand, it was really just about a guy, Enzo Ferrari, and the symbol that would come to define everything he did.
And the story here is just fantastic. So back in 1923, after Enzo wins a race, he meets the mother of a fallen Italian war hero, a flying ace named Francesco Baracca. She tells him, hey, put my son's Prancing Horse emblem on your cars, it'll bring you good luck. Enzo honored that wish, and he even added that bright canary yellow background to represent his hometown of Modena. So you see, right from the start, this wasn't about marketing. It was personal. It was a tribute.
And that right there is the absolute key to understanding the entire Ferrari story. Enzo Ferrari didn't lie awake at night dreaming of building luxury cars for wealthy clients. His heart, his soul, his entire reason for being was all about one thing: winning on the racetrack.
And his career path just proves it. For 2 whole decades, Enzo's world was Alfa Romeo. He raced for them, and then in 1929, he founded Scuderia Ferrari, which literally just means Ferrari stable. But here's the kicker. His company wasn't building cars. It was created to manage and support other drivers who were racing in Alfa Romeos. He was a team boss, pure and simple.
And this picture says it all, doesn't it? It's 1934. You can see that prancing horse on the side, but those are Alfa Romeos. His Scuderia had been around for 10 years before the first car with the actual Ferrari name was ever built. The mission was always about just one thing: winning.
Which brings us to the great irony, the big twist at the heart of the whole Ferrari story. To fund his incredibly expensive obsession with racing, Enzo had to do the one thing he really wasn't all that passionate about: sell cars to the public. I mean, it really just boils down to this simple conflict. On one side, you have his all-consuming passion for winning with his race team. On the other, you have the brutal reality that competing at the highest level of motorsport costs a fortune. So what do?
And there's your answer. Those beautiful, incredible road cars that made his name famous all over the world, to him, they were kind of a necessary evil. They were basically just rolling fundraisers, a way to bankroll the only thing that he truly cared about: the next race.
And this car right here, the 166 Inter from 1949, is the result of that compromise. This is one of the very first cars designed not just for the track, but for the wealthy customers whose money would fuel the race team. This is really the birth of Ferrari the automaker.
And boy, did that compromise lead to some serious growth. Just look at the difference. On the left, you've got the factory floor in the 60s, where pretty much everything was handmade with painstaking care. On the right, you have the massive, modern headquarters in Maranello. The reluctant automaker had accidentally become a global powerhouse. So as the road car business started to boom, so did the success on the racetrack that it was designed to pay for. The racing victories built up this incredible mystique around the brand, which in turn sold more cars, which then funded more racing. It was a perfect, self-reinforcing cycle. So just how successful was that racing program? Well, in Formula One, Scuderia Ferrari holds the all-time record for the most Constructors' Championships. That's the trophy for the best team. The number? 16. 16 times they've been the best in the world. And if you were watching Formula One in the early 2000s, you remember this. The Michael Schumacher era was just total dominance. 5 consecutive drivers' titles for him, 6 straight constructors' titles for the team. This period of just absolute supremacy is what turned Ferrari from a famous racing team into a true global cultural icon. But, the brand eventually grew way beyond its founder. In 1969, Fiat came in and bought a major stake, which brought a lot of industrial stability. After Enzo passed away in '88, the company really transformed under new leadership, massively expanding its cars and its profits. By 2016, it was a completely independent public company, a true automotive giant.
Which, of course, brings us to today. The company that was born from one man's singular obsession with racing is now facing a world filled with challenges and new technologies that Enzo Ferrari could never have possibly imagined.
I mean, the lineup today would be unrecognizable to Enzo. You've got plug-in hybrids like the SF90, a sports car with a hybrid V6, and then there's the Puro Sangue, the first ever four-door Ferrari, an SUV. It's a radical change from the classic V12s, and it's a huge sign that they're adapting.
And the biggest change of all is still on its way. The company has officially said its first fully electric car is coming. For a brand that's literally defined by the sound and the fury of its engines, well, that's a monumental shift.
The SF90 Stradale really feels like the bridge, doesn't it? It has that screaming internal combustion engine, but it also has silent electric motors. It really captures the tension at the heart of the company today, a deep, deep connection to its past with an undeniable pull toward an electric future.
And this leaves us with the final and most crucial question. The entire Ferrari identity was built on the mechanical symphony of its engines, a direct result of Enzo's racing obsession. So what happens when that sound disappears? Can the Prancing Horse, a symbol of raw, visceral power, still captivate us in a silent, electric age? That is the challenge ahead.